Welcome to Monday, May 3rd, 2021. Welcome to the Day Weather Podcast. Today's Day Weather Podcast is being brought to you by Chugwater Chili, the gourmet spice of Western life. You may have heard of Chugwater Chili seasoning blend, but do you know that Chugwater Chili also makes a hot version of their famous chili seasoning? For those of you looking for a little extra spice in their life, give Chugwater Chili Hot a try. Well, we've got a little bit of this and we've got a little bit of that coming our way here over the next week. It's typical May coming our way, typical May weather, some ups and downs and occasionally getting wet. Now, we're certainly going to start off the week with cooler temperatures and occasional precipitation for some of you. That will kind of hang on through Wednesday. Then we've got a big warm up coming Thursday and Friday. But for the start of this week, it's certainly going to be chilly eating weather with these cooler temperatures. Another round of possibly cooler wet weather's coming Mother's Day weekend and into early next week. I know the timing isn't really good, but it does look like that's when the next wave of colder conditions and maybe some precipitation will be coming our way. Here's today's upper level chart. We've got the low right now moving into western Colorado. It's a fairly weak system, but it did produce yesterday and last night some showers and thunderstorms, some high country snow in Colorado and Wyoming, and some moisture on the plains with southeastern Wyoming and the front range of Colorado and the northeast plains of Colorado. Again, the same areas that got the rain last week got the rain and the wet snow with this system. Other areas missed out. Now, this system is certainly going to make it cold. Temperatures today a good 20 to 25 degrees below average in many areas. Colder air is spread onto both sides of the Continental Divide. So certainly a cool start to the first few days of May. And we do expect that the cooler weather will stay with us through Wednesday. And off and on chances of showers and thunderstorms will be with us. And through Wednesday and Thursday, this is what the precipitation totals look like. Notice there's a clustering of the better precipitation right along the divide. The mountain areas, both sides of the divide, going to be where the better chances of the shower activity will be. Notice out here on the plains, not nearly as much as you get east of the divide again. And these are the areas that you see right here that did with the best. So the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer with the way the precipitation's falling. Now, this is where we get into the warm part of the week. High pressure and the jet stream building into the Rocky Mountain West will be taking place as we get into Thursday and Friday. You're going to see some areas seeing some improvement late Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday, it's back to almost summer-like weather again. Thursday and Friday, as warm desert air gets pushed in from the southwest, well, we're going to warm up again, but here is the next low, and this is going to settle into the northern Rockies and northern Plains states during the second half of the weekend and early next week. We know the timing's bad for those of you that want to do something outdoors or something for Mother's Day Sunday, but we need the precipitation, and I think this system has got some potential to bring some rain to some areas that aren't getting it right now. But temperatures Thursday, look how warm it is. So we're going to go from the unseasonably cold weather that we have now to above average temperatures by Thursday, Friday, and probably into Saturday as well. That weather whiplash, we call it this time of year, is certainly well in place. By the end of the weekend and into early next week, here comes that next low. With high pressure building into the Gulf of Alaska, that opens the door to the cooler, moist air coming on in. Now, this could be, hopefully, a good rain producer and snow in the high country later in the weekend and early next week. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that this comes to fruition, because it's exactly these type of systems that you got to have in the month of May to get your precipitation averages up and get some areas that really need the precipitation. So there is that opportunity there. And if you look at that potential, now this is a model, so take this with a grain of salt. But you can see northeastern Wyoming, western Nebraska, western South Dakota, southeastern Wyoming, and northeastern Colorado again getting the moisture. Now, these areas over the last 2 months from the March snowstorm to that big rain last week are doing well. But areas outside of my circle here all need that precipitation. So hopefully that is what we'll see. Now, some of that is going to be rain. Some of that could be in the form of wet snow. So we'll watch to see how this storm system progresses throughout the week. Remember last week we told you about all that sunspot activity and possible solar flares? Well, guess what? The sunspots are gone. The sun has gone back to sleep again. So once again, we are looking at no sunspot and low solar activity. We'll have to see what happens. There might be something coming over here by tomorrow or on Wednesday, but right now the sun has gone back quiet again. Don't forget, Chugwater Chili, the gourmet spice of Western life. If you use the code ChugwaterDon at checkout, you can get 20% off. So 20% off Chugwater Chili, enter ChugwaterDon at checkout for 20%.